Hello everyone, welcome to my channel CBSE Class 12 Tips and Tricks. This is my first video on YouTube. I hope this video would be helpful to all of you. My name is Abhijay Chandratre. I thought of helping you all guys with some tips and tricks in CBSE Class 12 English Core exam. I myself have scored 97 marks in the subject. I know it is a bit too much, but come on guys, if I can, we all can. Let's start the video by some basic tips and tricks, section wise, which will help you all guys to score 90 plus in the exam. As we all know, the paper is divided into three sections. Section A, that is your reading comprehension. Section B, which is your writing skills. And section C, which is literature and long reading texts. Let's start by section A, which is the reading comprehension. It carries 13 marks. It is further divided into three questions. Question number 1, which is your unseen passage number 1, which is generally of 1000 to 1200 words. It is of 12 marks. Your second question, which is again an unseen passage or poetry. This is of nearly about 600 to 700 words and carries 10 marks. And question number 3, which is a passage for your note making and your summary writing, which is 5 marks for note making plus 3 marks for summary writing, which adds up to 8 marks for question number 3. Now let's speak for each question. Question 1 is a long unseen passage. Ideally, you should not spend more than 12 minutes for this question. It will be ideally having 4 MCQ questions, then some very short answer type question, and then you'll have 2 questions for finding the word. Now these 2 questions can be solved in the beginning of the question paper. How? Let's see. I have 2016 question paper with me. It's the same paper pattern as yours. If you see the first passage, you have 4 MCQs. And then we have 6 short answer questions, and then these 2 questions for word finding. What ideally you should do is you should read all the questions beforehand, that is before reading the passage, so that you have a brief idea that from which sections of the passage are the questions based. As you will read the questions, while going through the passage, you can simply underline those sections which you feel are the answers to those questions. This will save a lot of time and you will speed up your writing section. The same can be done with the second question in the writing section. This will be a somewhat shorter. Here also you will get 2 questions for word finding, so you can again do the same with these. Coming to the note making and summary writing. See guys, this question is for 5 marks. Ideally, you should not write detailed notes over here. Note making means very shortly and briefly you need to just jot down the main points in the passage. Like you can see, we have to just underline the important points which you feel in the passage and just write them down in your notes. Note making format is very important over here. Secondly, you should use abbreviations while making note making. So like example, you can just write people with PPL, and you need to give the key at the last. Summary writing should be based on your notes itself. Again, you should not refer the passage. whatever notes you have prepared, you should write down the summary based on those notes. Now let's come to section B. Section B is your writing section. In section B, we have one very short answer type question for 4 marks. That is your question number 4, which is generally a notice, an advertisement, or sometimes a poster, or even sometimes we have invitations. So generally we see a notice coming up over here. Prepare the format for notice very well. It's a 4 marks, so you should not ideally spend 7 minutes. More than 7 minutes you should not spend on these questions, because we have very long answer type questions also in section B, and if you spend more time on these, then there is a possibility that you will miss out in the literature section. Next question, that is a question number 5, is compulsory a letter. CBSE does not distinguish to us whether it will be an informal or a formal letter. Many times we see formal coming, or we have a choice between a formal and informal. These letters generally include a letter to the editor types. So when we have such questions, we should ideally write words like through the columns of your esteemed newspapers. So such terms should be newspaper, such should be used. Then we have question number 6. So question number 5, that letter is of 6 marks. Question number 6 is, and question number 7, these two are very long answer type questions. Okay, so these are generally based from article, speech, report. Okay, you can have an article, you can have a speech, you can have a report. So you generally have options from these. Also your value based questions can also be based from these topics. So the main thing over here is the format. If your format is correct and the content is apt, you will get full marks over here. These are of 10 marks each, so a lot of time is spent over here. So be careful that you don't spend more time in question number 4, because you need to devote time and you need to think on question number 6 and 7. This means that your question section B is also of 30 marks. Let's go to the last section of your question paper, which is section C, which is your literature. That is based on the textbooks of Flamingo and Vistas, and also from your long reading texts, that is your novels, The Invisible Man and The Talisman. This has many questions. Let us see one by one. The first question will be an extract based question from a poetry. So you can select your favorite poem. There are almost 4 to 5 poems in your syllabus. You can just see, and these are very short answer type questions. VSAs, 1 mark each, but these are not MCQs. You need to write down in 1 word or 1 sentence. You have an option over here. Then we have short answer type questions. Okay, these are 4 marks, 3 marks question, and you will have to attempt 4 questions. Generally options are given. There are 6 questions out of which you need to prepare. The next one is a short answer questions based on prose, poetry and drama from both the textbooks. We have 3 marks questions. There are generally 4 questions coming. You have an option out of 6. So this is of 12 marks. Again, you should not spend more than around 12 to 15 minutes on this question, because these are factual questions. I mean, you don't need to write anything analytical. You just need to state the facts from the text. The next 2 questions are very long answer type question. These are 2 questions again based on your text, it is generally like one question will be from Vistas and one question will be from Flamingo, though it can differ. The first question will be a value based question. You are well aware about value based question from your 9th standard, but it will be of some different format. You need to comment on some, essence of some chapters like patriotism, okay, or otherwise there is a chapter based on honesty. So you need to comment on those values which will be asked you in this question. The second one is an analytical question where you need to analyze the text. So the question will ask you to analyze the complete text, or it may ask you to analyze a part of a text or on based on some a character also sometimes. So this completes your flamingos and vistas. The last two questions of your section C will be based on your novel, that is a long reading text. You have Invisible Man and Silas Marner. We have first question will be a question on situations, or basically we say it as factual question. I mean, it will ask you about what happened, why it happened. That is, you don't need to analyze anything. The second question is generally a question on some character sketch. You need to analyze some character in the novel, or you also may be asked to analyze some situations in the text. So this completes with your paper pattern. Now coming to some very general tips I will give you. The first tip is that how to manage time, that is time management. Many of us complain that we cannot complete the paper in 3 hours, but that is incorrect, because it is a lengthy paper, but we need to manage it in 3 hours rather in 2.5 hours, because we need half hour for your checking. Now how to complete it in 3 hours? The first thing in time management is that you get your papers by 10:15 a.m. From 10:15 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. you have the reading time. In this time you're not allowed to write anything on the answer sheet nor on the question paper. But one thing you can surely do in this period is that you can complete half of your reading section. How? Let's see. For example, this is the first passage. So as you open the seal, you can just go through the passage. You ideally don't need to just read the complete passage. What you need to do is, as soon as you get your question paper, take a pencil, read this question. You have 4 MCQs, so read this question, find the given sentence in the text, come back with your answer and just mark your answer in this way. You'll do the same for the next questions in the second passage also, and in the literature section also. So in the literature section also you have these questions. What you can do is just you can underline, or just you can tick which are the answers in from this. Second thing you need to do is you need to mark your choices. What will happen is, if you don't mark the choices which you are going to attempt, you may get confused. So like in this question, you have 6 questions, out of which you need to attempt 4. So beforehand only you should mark which questions you are going to attempt. This will save a lot of time. Again, you have options almost in every part of your question paper, so you need to mark it appropriately everywhere. The second thing which many of you ask me is which books to refer. So I will recommend you to use Arihant publication All in One. So this is the name of the series of books. So All in One English Core. Don't forget to get the latest edition. This book is sufficient for scoring above 90 in your exam. I referred the same, and let me tell you that this book gives you enough practice in every section. So you have enough reading passages, and you have enough letters, articles given to you. So, and you can practice. You also have a solved question paper over there, so you can just have a look at this book. Even if you have other books, it's okay. What I recommend you is that please go through all the previous year's question paper. These are available on the link www.cbse.nic.in. I will share the link in the description below. Also, you have model answer papers or the model answer sheets of the toppers, which I also recommend you to have a look at. So this will give you a very detailed idea how to write the question paper. I'll try to prepare another video on the model answer sheets and how they have written and what strategies have they used while doing the question paper. So I think this sums it up. If you have any queries, any suggestions, or you want me to make videos on other topics related to this subject, you can write them, mention them in the comment section below. And let me tell you that this is the first video on YouTube, so please, I request you all guys to please like the video, please subscribe, share it, subscribe my channel, CBSE Class 12 tips and tricks, and also don't forget to hit the bell icon to get instant updates whenever I upload my next video. Okay then guys, see you, bye.